And it looks like we are live for another edition of Keep Calm and Carry. I really appreciate everybody swinging by tonight. I know it's a Monday. Everybody has the weekend that they're trying to shake off and get ready to go for another bout here. Let's mute my my YouTube so I can see your guys' chat, and then I don't have to listen to myself in the headphones. So with that being said, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone that is supporting the 1-year giveaway that I'm doing. If you don't already know about it, just go back into my playlist and you'll be able to see the 1-year anniversary of me being on YouTube. And I'm doing a giveaway. So thank you for the outpouring of support and all the well wishes and just everything that you guys have been saying about the channel. It really, truly means a lot. There's some individuals that have said some things that have touched me right here, not back here, right here. So let's keep it clean, kids. All right. So anyway, so again, 1-year anniversary giveaway is going on. I will announce everything next week on Keep Calm and Carry. Ironically, it's going to be episode 20. So why not kick off episode 20 with me just giving away a whole bunch of free stuff, right? So thanks again. Without my Patreon members, a lot of this stuff that I'm doing wouldn't be possible. And I've actually picked up a few new people that I wanted to say thank you to and say hi to everybody. First and foremost, the originals are Semi-Armed Life, Drew, the Real Gun Snob, Craig is the original Patreon. And then we had some additions just over this weekend. I wanted to say James, Philip, John, and Puck. You guys, thank you so much for jumping on board. That really means a lot to me. Again, I don't ask anyone to do that. This is just something I have the ability for you guys to jump on if you're interested. I'll never ask you guys or plead for it, but it's there if you want to do it. And all that money goes directly into the channel, whether it be buying ammunition, gas to get to the range, targets, what ammunition, because I should say it twice because everybody needs as much ammunition as you can get. So with that being said, let's swing on over into the chat room here real quick. You guys have already been crushing the chat room before I even got involved in it, which is crazy. So first to hit the chat room, of course, is my man, Izzy. Hard Tacos is the best long. So, Kodo Boy, thanks for swinging by. I really appreciate it. You, sir, you're a gentleman. I really appreciate our little chat last night, man. You guys, you just rock it. So, Elena, God, every time, Elena. My goodness, the the Tyven show. Good to see you. Trace, Shepard, Drew, I'm jumping ahead here. Let me make sure. BR549, the Gun Snob, and F18M223, Frank, Jackie Billings, another celebrity amongst the chat room, Jesse B, Andrew, sir. Hey, the Joshes are here. Good to see you. Daniel, Steve, Andrew Ray, David G, James, Luis, Nico. All right, there we go. That pretty much covers everybody. Thank you so much. It really, really means a lot to me to see you guys already chatting in the chat room. That's pretty awesome. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That helps out all the analytics. So let's get into it. We're getting into the Battle Royale tonight of which is better, AR versus AK. And I think I have a pretty knowledgeable individual on the AK side. Naturally, I'm American, so I'm going to be talking about the AR. But tonight we've got Mike from A Semi-Armed Life. I've been listening to Mike and Elena for, oh goodness, over 2 months now. They started a podcast called Semi-Armed Life on SoundCloud and on the iTunes. I've got all that information down in the description down below, so make sure you guys swing by and hit them up. They're on a little bit of a summer hiatus while they conglomerate a number of different things for episode 9. But without further ado, Mike, sir, thank you for joining me, and hopefully we can argue each other a little bit here. Still on mute. You got the mute? Hit the mute. There you go.
I'm good now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, thank you. So first off, just to prove to everyone that I'm American, so I like both platforms. I really love both platforms.
You do. But you've been a big voice, a big advocate for the AK platform from the get go on Semi-Armed Life. Where does that come from?
Partially, I had an AR first, and I started to get a little bored with it. That's kind of step one, and then I realized it was almost cheaper to shoot AKs because you could always shoot steel cased ammo.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. So
that's where I came in. That's where I really saw its value.
Right. Yeah, it really is. So we're gonna dive into this discussion here with AR versus AK. There's really no necessarily big format to say, but other than the fact that I have grown up around the AR platform mainly because of my time in the military. That's what I was most comfortable with. That's what I trained with. It seemed so easy for me to pick up. And the reasons why I feel the AR is better as a overall choice, not necessarily this piece or this piece, but I'm saying overall, is because of the way that the recoil is mitigated through the AR platform, the ease of use, I guess. The recoil of a 5.56 round is not too abusive, and the ergonomics of it, I think, is a little bit better. You're able to manipulate the weapon a little bit faster. So that's my initial part. I'm going to send it over to you. What do you think?
Okay, well, obviously I have to agree with pretty much everything you said. As soon as I picked one up, I knew exactly what I was doing with an AR. It's so intuitive. As soon as you pick it up, it's so ergonomic. The way you're able to raise it up, the amount of modularity you can get out of it. Trust me, it has its strengths, but it's got the tight tolerances. I really feel bad dogging the AR. But
right on. So.
So basically it's a tool for two different things, where if I wanted an AR, in the home, I feel like that would be a better use for it, for home defense, just for different uses. AK to me is just more of a basher gun, just for bashing through stuff with a 30 cal. And I like that it's simple. It is a lot more, it's more fun too with the recoil, if you're into recoil, just for going, at the range, having fun, that type of stuff.
Right.
But controllability, absolutely, you're right. Where an AR, say for instance with this BCM, when I pick it up, it's just like I can do whatever I want with it. An AK is not quite like that. It's more of a rugged tool.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing, every time I think of an AK, I think of Boris the Blade from Snatch, when he's trying to sell what is his name, Johnny, the revolver, and he says, heavy is good, heavy is reliable. If it doesn't work, you can always hit him with it.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
I personally, I think, I haven't been around the AK very much, but I have shot it. I've enjoyed the 7.62 by 39 round. It's not as punishing as say a 308 for a small framed individual. I'm a smaller guy, so but one of the things that I have really struggled with is how clunky the AK is in comparison to the AR. Meaning, specifically, as I'm trying to reload, I can reload an AR faster than I can an AK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's you. I mean, if I've never really timed myself, I don't know which one I'm quicker on. I'm at a point now where it's almost negligible in the difference. Just because I practice so much with the AK, I'd say I've spent 70% of my time behind rifles with AKs now. Right. So once you get used to the platforms, and like the safety, like you're talking about coming up on the target, one thing that does help bust up there's one of these Krebs custom safety, some other ones. That is almost a necessity if you want to hang with ARs. You know what I mean? In terms of maneuverability and shootability, like that to me is a big thing with the AK, because without that, you have to break your grip to sweep it off, and that's just slow no matter what. So,
Yeah.
you know.
So I kind of jumped in while he was trying to show you there, but basically what that is on the safety, there's a little lip that comes back about halfway from where the normal little lip is on the safety, which allows you to get your index finger up on it and switch it over. So go ahead and speak, Mike, and then I'll switch
Yeah,
over.
I'll show you. Basically right here, rather than having to come off the gun completely and swipe here, I'm able to do it from here. Everyone knows. So without that, the AR absolutely destroys an AK in terms of shootability and getting it up on target. I mean, at least in my experience, because no matter what, you're going to be slower, breaking the grip, taking that safety off. One thing is the bolt hold open too, as well.
Yes. So
that drives me crazy. You know, that's another thing.
Yeah. So you can get followers for the AR or the AK magazines that allow that bolt to stay open. I buy the Croatian magazines that allow it to stay open. I get hammered in the comment section about when I talk about that, because it's just intuitive for me that when I pull the trigger, if it doesn't go bang, I flip it on its side to look to see what's going on in the breech. If it's open, hey, it's time to reload.
Yeah, I totally get those followers. I remember that the people giving you crap about that, saying it was totally useless because the bolt flies forward, but you feel it when the bolt goes back, and it feels like an AR. You know that you're empty, so it makes sense. I've always just used regular old mags. I just get in the habit of just keep rack it, so.
Right. So one of the things that a lot of people have always had a complaint about the AR platform is the fact that you have to take a lot of there's a lot of PMCS that goes in with it, that so you have to clean it all the time. You have to make sure it's ready to go, it's lubed up, all this other stuff. Whereas with the AK, you don't necessarily have that issue. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both guns will go a really long time. They'll both shoot a long time without being cleaned, but for the most part, an AR is going to probably choke up before an AK will. When it comes to just like carbon fouling, the gas rings will get clogged up. You'll have failure to go into battery or something like that, probably before you will with an AK, just from fouling.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, one of the things that I would say is that I found shooting suppressed on an AR opposed to shooting suppressed with an AK is completely different. An AR is going to foul up about 10 times quicker than an AK shooting suppressed. And why would you say that is?
Because it's a DI gun.
Yeah, exactly. So last year at Iraq Veteran 8888's Range Day, Krebs Customs was out there, and they were shooting. They had rifles that they had two different rifles. They had suppressed rifles, and then they had full auto AKs. And the suppressed AKs ran all day, didn't have a problem whatsoever. But I did see near the end of the day, any of the, say, scars or any, well, not a scar, but all the DI style guns, they were starting to chug along a little bit slower than the AKs were. The freaking AKs were just rocking all day long. So that is definitely a plus.
And when they come out of the factory, they're so friggin' overgassed. AKs and just like cheaper ones, but and no matter what one you get, the design itself is overgassed. That's part of the reason that you get so much more recoil than a 5.56. Other than the round, is just the design, that bolt carrier. So, right.
So, would you say that the 7.62 round is a better round than the 5.56? If so, why do you think so?
Better. Yeah, I always say that because you can knock down a wall with it, I think, or quicker with an AK. That's one reason that I like it. If you ever needed to shoot through cars, probably better at that. I don't have any experience really. I'm no operator, I don't. But
yeah.
And on the whole, though, it is cheaper, especially the steel case stuff. Like Tula. Like, do you use Tula 223 in your ARs?
Yeah. So, no, I take that back. Not my ARs. No. The main ammunition type that I end up using is going to be the American Eagle. So I can pick up 150 rounds of American Eagle if I'm watching sales real well. I can pick up 150 rounds for about $39 on sale, or normally at Walmart you can pick it up for like $54.
So a box of 40 of Tula is $9.
Yeah,
a 7.62, just to give you an idea. So like for me, we shoot a lot. Me and Atlanta, we shoot all the time. So being able to save on ammo, like if I had to only shoot 5.56, NATO stuff or whatever, what you're shooting, I wouldn't be shooting nearly as much as I do, trigger time as I do with my AKs.
Yeah. The thing I would say about the 5.56, and one of the things that I originally thought was a good thing, but could be a bad thing, is you get shot by a 7.62 round, 7.62 by 39. It's pretty much going to go straight through you. So you're going to get a pass through. It doesn't really tumble very much. You're going to get tissue damage because of that shock as soon as it hits. But the 5.56 round, once it hits, it's going to start tumbling. If it doesn't even start, depending on the distance, it could have already started tumbling before it even hits you, which then causes even further tissue damage on the inside. However, the kinetic energy between the two of them is night and day. You get hit with that 7.62 round, it's going to drop you. Whereas I've seen individuals shoot a saw at a person and get him. The guy took 3, 4, 5 rounds and was still moving. And we're like, what is going on? So that's one on the AK. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I mean, with 5.56 and 5.45, I mean, hitting flesh. I've never seen anything like that. But I can't even imagine I can't, what I'm saying. But with the 7.62, I feel like it's almost more humane, if that makes any sense. You're just putting holes in people. You're not blowing them to, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's more humane to hunt with, you would say.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I've seen kind of some things talking about in the comment section here, and you guys are going so fast I can't keep up. But one of the things that I have seen here is talking about different grains of bullet with the 5.56, talking about the 300 blackout with the AR platform, so on and so forth. I'm merely talking going head to head here with 5.56 using 55 grain NATO ball rounds against the 123, 124,
124, sometimes 122.
With the AK. So yes, there's tons of variances. Well, shoot, now Palmetto State Armory, they've got a 5.56 AK.
I wanted to ask you about that. Do you know anything about it?
I have touched it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, PMags, right?
Yes, they do take PMags. I don't necessarily have the inner workings are all set up to accept those PMags, but I will say that an individual who will remain nameless, who may or may not be in the chat room, has one in his possession and is testing it out right now for Palmetto State Armory. So I'm very interested to see what that individual has to say about it. So more to come. So
did you say that was Coda Boy? He just said that he's reviewing one.
If he said it, then yeah.
I didn't mean to do that.
I wasn't going to dive him out, but
it's awesome. No, I mean, I'm on AK Files a lot. You know how forums go.
Yes.
So for a while there, no matter what, if it was from America, people didn't want it. But I have seen people giving good reviews for the PSA AKs.
That's good. That's very good. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I have hope for them. At all the companies to maybe have the capacity to put out an AK, I hope that they're the one that's able to do it.
Okay. So before we beat this dead horse, all right, I'm just going to lay it down right here, and this is going to solve all the world's problems. Freaking Donald Trump gets reelected to be the president again in 2020. The world goes collapse and goes bonkers because they can't live another 4 years with him in office, and every major metropolis goes haywire. It's like the 1996 LA riots all over it again. The crap has hit the fan. What weapon are you picking up?
This one, my Vepr.
There it is, the Vepr.
And it weighs about 12 pounds. I have a habit of breaking everything. I break everything I own. I'm an idiot. I tend to fall on stuff. So this for me, like, you can't, I feel like there's no way I'm going to bust this. You know what I'm saying? So strategically, it's not perfect. Everyone else having ARs and having the mags, having the ammo, compatibility, that is a thing. But I have 3 other AKs if this one goes down. Yep. And I thought, to
that, and the fact that just like you were trying to mention there, I would agree with you in the fact that if you're grabbing that one, you fall on it or whatever, you could really it could really take a beating. You don't have to clean it as often. It will run dirty. It will run wet. So those things have got some. That's what's got going.
Yep.
Well for it. The thing that
kind of.
The thing I would say, I'm going to grab my AR, and more than likely I'm going to grab my AR pistol that I have set up, because ease of use, the availability of ammunition, both types, AKs and ARs, going to have a wide variety of ammunition available for it. And at the end of the day, I don't want to carry a 12-pound rifle. I don't want to carry an extra 40 pounds of ammunition in comparison to a loadout. So, yeah. Yep. And I think that I could put more accurate and higher volume of rounds on target with an AR than I could with an AK. That, however, is all about training. I'm not trained as much on the AK as I am with the AR. So, yeah. So,
I would say, if I ended up with an AR, I wouldn't be upset at all. I'll put it that way. I'd feel just fine with an AR too. Any one of these guns, I'm going to hit better than the AK. Any one of these ARs, I'm going to hit better than with the AK, almost for sure, especially shooting fast. But with the 30 cal, at least I feel like you can shoot through stuff and miss a little more and maybe get away with it. It kind of makes up for that. And kind of like you were saying, how it's so clunky, it also shoots clunky. Like even the nicest AKs will never shoot as nice. Actually the 5.45 AKs shoot super nice, but a 7.62 gun will never shoot as soft and as controllable as an AR-15.
Right on. Right on. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 2 arguments behind the standard AR-15 and your 5.56 55 grain NATO ball round versus the AK-123 grain. I don't want to say NATO. I guess comm block ammunition, whatever you want to call it.
Crap ammo. Crap ammo.
So, with that being said, let's take a break here real quick. Let's head on over to the chat room and just swing on through. You guys, I can tell you right now that I've had. There's something in the water. There's something in the air. I think it's because your beautiful face there, Mike. But we've got 62 viewers right now. You guys are crushing it. Thank you so much. I think this is pretty awesome. 64 now. This is the most I've ever had, so I really do appreciate it. So I can't keep up with the chat room. You guys are just crushing it. But I do see some new faces in here. Mike Bryant, Big Mike, good to see you. CW Hunter, Z50. Of course, we got this Coda boy running around causing havoc. Big Al, Frank. This lady Jackie Billings is also getting in there. You guys, if you're on Instagram, go hit up Micro Warrior if you don't already follow her. She's quite the badass, let me tell you. And with that being said, coming up here in about a couple of weeks, kind of a little teaser for you. We're going to pull in a couple different individuals for a live chat. It's going to be Battle of the Sexes. It's going to be Elena and Jackie Billings versus myself and the Pew Pew Jew. and we're going to talk about a number of different things. Mainly, this first one is going to talk about, dare I say, the misogyny of the gun culture. Ooh, so we'll get into that, and we'll cause a ruckus, and you know, hopefully, well, we'll leave it at that. So
We'll see who wins.
we'll see who wins. I already know who's going to win. I am because of the anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's transition here real quick. About a month ago, I kind of really got interested in, well, I've always been interested in AKs. One of my first foot patrols in Iraq, I carried an AK. I probably should see if I can find that picture. Yeah, I think that's probably good. I'm sure everybody wants visual proof, but my very first foot patrol in Iraq, I carried an AK because I wasn't issued a rifle at the time. But I digress. About a month ago, I got serious about the AK. I wanted to break out my C39 V2, which I know is not the best AK on the market. However, it was a gift to me. It has a lot of sentimental value to me, and I absolutely love it. It's heavy. It's a milled receiver, and I know it has its faults, but I've had a lot of hold on, I got to take a break here because Bald and Curious, what happened to my face? Thanks. All right. So on occasion, Mama tells me that she needs me to shave, and I do what Mama tells me. All right. Because if Mama's not happy, ain't nobody happy. I can tell you that right now. And on top of that, I had a pub crawl that I dressed up as one of the characters from the Goonies. So there may or may not be pictures that come up from that. Anyway, with that being said, back to AKs. I wanted to get serious, but I'm so lost on trying to figure out what would be a good viable second option for an AK. Milled receiver may not be for everybody because it's extremely heavy. So I'm going to turn this kind of over to Mike, and I was hoping you would really kind of dive in and educate us. What do you think are the best AKs that you can get in the U.S. market right now? What are some of the secondary ones that if you don't have a lot of money, you can get? And we'll start there.
Okay. I'm going to start off by saying I don't think that a C39 V2 has exploded yet. So that's good. I haven't heard of it yet.
Yeah, that's good. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully I won't be the test case.
Yeah. So anyways, getting into AKs, I guess I'm going to start with the budget guns or talk about if you're trying to save money. My number one recommendation, especially if you don't want to Dremel stuff, if you don't know how to Dremel, the AK might not be for you. If you want to mess with it, so out of the box AK, what I recommend is the Romanian Draco. So this is a 12-inch gun. I got the SB tactical brace on. It almost looks like a stock, you know. So right. It just fits right under the pistol grip. And I used a washer and I cranked it down, you know, as hard as I could. And I've never had it move on me. The brace was about $100. The gun was about $600. So for $700, you can get almost a Shorty SBR imported AK. So if you want to get something that's going to be reliable, that's going to be a comm block gun, I recommend that. If you wanted to keep it simple out of the box, if you wanted to get one and then upgrade it yourself, what I would recommend would be, I'd recommend a Wasser 10 if you wanted to buy one just to upgrade. But if out of the box, you don't want to mess with it, buy a Draco, throw a brace on it, you're done with it. If you want to mess with it, buy a Wasser. And you put anything you want on it. You know, this has got a folding stock. It's got an Ultimac with a primary arms dot. And this came with crappy wood furniture. Took that off as soon as we got it. Arsenal handguards, definitive arms brake. So this is a $600 gun, but it's been pumped up to about, you know, $800 or $900 gun. So if you want to get into customization, I think a Wasser 10 is not a bad choice, but you have to be able to work a Dremel. Nothing's going to fit it. Everything you buy, you have to fit yourself. And that's part of the fun with AKs, for me at least. Like ARs, everything just snaps in, you're good, boom. AKs, you get something and you're like, how does this go together? So you got to be kind of more intuitive with what you're doing. You know, a lot of people, you know, my buddy bought an AK. He bought all these parts for it. He was like, I have no clue how to put this stuff on the gun. And I was like, oh, well, so if you're not mechanically inclined, I do not recommend getting a cheaper AK. But if you aren't mechanically inclined, but you want to spend a little more, like a or an Arsenal, come with better furniture, you know, it comes with better stuff. You don't have to do anything to it out of the box. And generally, Vepers, Segas, which are both banned, they have cold hammer forged barrels. So do the Romanian guns. Yugo guns do not have chrome lining. That's one thing. If you're looking at Yugo guns like the NPAPs, the barrels on those, you know, they're not quite up to par with these, but they're still good guns. They're still good imported guns. Do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get a better idea. So you're talking about on the Wasser 10, you're going to need to do some touch-up work to get everything to fit. So can you kind of just briefly touch on just one or two of the items that you think is going to be the problem areas?
So when you buy a Wasser, and same with I think the RAS 47, it comes with this balsa wood, basically. And as you keep shooting, it'll crack. Just the impact of the rear trunnion from the bolt will crack the stock, and you have to replace the stock. And about 90% of the time, the stock that you buy will not fit. So you have to Dremel it, get it in there. And same thing with handguards. Like this took me maybe 30 minutes to get this thing Dremeled down and fit. And honestly, another thing that I haven't mentioned yet, that another downside I would say to some of the cheaper guns or some of the cheaper magazines is sometimes you'll get magazines that just won't fit certain guns, and you can either throw them away or you can Dremel them and make them fit. So it's nothing like an AR where you just buy a PMag and shove it in. You could buy a mag and it will not fit your gun. So like when you buy something, you got to test it immediately without, you know, you can't just buy it and go to the range and think, oh, my Yugo mag will fit into my blah, blah, blah. It doesn't always work. That's kind of my warning if you're wanting to get into AKs, you know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
Work intensive if you want to get what you want out of it, but it is worth it in the end.
And it's a point that you made just a few minutes ago, is that, you know, ARs just kind of snap together. They're like they're literally the Legos for adults, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas the AK would be more like a, what do you call those?
Erector.
Yeah,
set.
Erector sets, exactly. Yeah,
some welding or something. You had to add welding and dremeling to that, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on. So, so the Romanian Impact, you said, was your top recommendation. Is that correct?
The Romanian Draco, like
Draco. There we go.
Yes. Not the U.S. Draco. The Century makes one that's made. You know, it's basically an RAS 47 that's been chopped down. And these, you can get these right now for, I think, for about $650. So,
where would be the best place you think that someone should go?
I think I got this one at Bud's. Atlantic Firearms always has good stuff. I'm trying to think. Yeah, my last few guns have been from either Bud's or Atlantic.
Right on. Yep. I bought some stuff from Atlantic, mainly just see if I got one laying around here. Nope, not laying around here, but I bought some magazines from them for the MP5, and no problems. Great service, quick delivery. Yeah, so right on. So from there, you said the second choice on that was going to be your Wasser. I always heard that Wassers, you know, people kind of look down on Wassers. Is that kind of faded away because
there's a whole backstory? Sorry to cut you off. There's a whole backstory to the Wasser situation where the older guns were made with used surplus parts. So the trunnions, the bolts, the bolt carrier groups, everything was used on those guns except for the receiver and the barrel. So I think it was from like 2004 or 2008 to 2012. That's how they came, and then they started creating new guns with new parts. And since they've done that, their quality control has been much better, and there really haven't been any issues. So basically, if you get an older Wasser, it's probably a good gun, but there's a chance that there could be something funky with it. And I believe that Century used to hand Dremel the mag wells, and then they switched to CNC, and now there's less issues with mag wobble and wassers, because that was one of the main things. And it doesn't, if as long as it shoots, it doesn't matter, but it is very annoying.
Right on, right on. What do you think about the American AK? So your PSAK 47 from Palmetto State, or your C39 V2s. I'm kind of brain farting on some of the other ones, but what's your opinion of those?
Well, there's like IO that you see in shops all the time, and that most people know about IO. I actually was just watching something a minute ago from an ex-employee from them. It was on, I think her name's Lola. It was an interview with an ex-employee from IO, and the things he was saying was just, it was very, very disheartening. It was some of the worst stuff I've heard about a gun company. So I would never, ever tell someone to buy an IO, even if they're $500. And then next, I would say the RAS 47, only because over the last couple of years, I've seen probably between 15 and 20 that have been catastrophic failures. So I've only seen one Palmetto State gun, a picture. I've only seen one picture of a catastrophic failure of a Palmetto State gun. So, and I believe that might have been when they were using cast parts and they switched to billet. And billet is better than cast, but it'll never be as good as forged. Like most of these combat gun parts are going to be forged, so they're still using good parts. It's better than cast, but it will never, until they start using forged parts, they're always going to be a little bit of a step behind the imported stuff.
Right on. So I had two questions that I caught. I'm going to just ask Drew's question first, and then I'll get to Mike's. But Drew was, what's your opinion on the CMMG Mutant?
I used to want one, and then I just got into AKs. That was during the period when I was between the two. Actually, it was one of like my dream guns, and I think since then I've just kind of wised up to designs that aren't like, that don't stick to the blueprint. If my life's going to depend on it, I want it to be something that is issued to someone, or at least more based around something that's mil spec. Everyone says mil spec, but
right. My take on it is I'm kind of, as loosely as I possibly can be, I'm kind of a purist at heart. So the CMMG Mutant is a great idea. I think that it would work well for a lot of people. People who want to shoot the 7.62 by 39 round, but want AR controls. But my opinion is, hey, either crap or get off the pot. Either go AR or go AK.
Oh yeah, I agree. And really, I do like that they used an AR-10 bolt. I think that's genius, because AR-15s that shoot 7.62, the bolts are always really funky. They never have the right sizing. So they at least did that right. And from what I can understand, like, I think there was a meltdown video with Iraq Vet 888, and that thing, it kicked ass. So I mean, it could be a great gun. I'll never spend $1,500 on something that isn't issued to a military.
Sure. Yep, that's good. That's good. So this is off topic, but I did see a question from Mike. He's been a supporter of mine for quite some time, and I sure do appreciate all of his support, especially over on Instagram. But one of his questions was, what in my opinion, and I'll kind of pitch this over to you as well, what in my opinion is the best sling out there, and why do I think that? And my opinion is, well, there's tons of slings. The best sling is the one that keeps your weapon to your body. Does it have to be all tactical? No, I went two tours in the sandbox, one in Iraq, one in Afghanistan, with a standard GI style sling. Now, if you want to get tactical, there's this one that I absolutely love. This is the War Machine, the hammer sling from War Machine. I absolutely love this one because you can do either 1 point, you can do a 1 point, or you can switch it over and you can do 2 points. So that's a really cool thing. And then you have this little piece right here that makes it adjustable. if you're not all into the razzle dazzle type of stuff like that, Blue Force Gear does a very good one. They have their Vickers sling. Matter of fact, I have one. I'm pretty sure I have the Vickers sling over on my website, fitandfire.com, in the gear section. If not, let me know, someone, and I will make sure that it's posted up there so you guys can find it real easy. Mike, what do you think? What do you think is the best sling?
The best sling lately, I've been using my Russian sling, and I've gotten used to it, and I love it. I just throw it around my neck, and it kind of sits here like this. Just sits here and relaxes, you know. If you want a fancy one, I've had the Magpul MS4, the one with the QDs. They can be a 1 or a 2 point. I like that. I use that for my ARs. I kind of don't quite trust QDs because I weigh 275 pounds. So I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't trust my life with QDs. That's just me. I've never broken one, or I've never seen one come out, but I just like having the hooks on the AK slings, you know, the traditional slings. That's my answer. I mean, the MS4, though, it is a good sling. It's great.
Yep. So one of the things that I picked up from AK Operators Union, good old Robski, was taking 550 cord and tying the 550 cord onto the buttstock, and then hooking the front part into the little hook there on around the barrel, and that's worked fine with me. My 550 cord's all frayed and everything. It looks like freaking cheap as heck, but it works very, very well, and it gives you a little bit more extra sling for you to maneuver between both shoulders if you're into that type of stuff. So let's see, let's swing back by into the had a question here. What was your favorite non-CZ pistol, Mike?
My favorite pistol is a Glock.
There you go. Problem solved. Problem stay installed.
Yeah, it always will be my favorite. I wanted to ask you, Mark. Do you consider Glocks budget guns?
Oh, that's actually a good question.
I kind of do, because for what you get, like for $600, this is the deal for Glocks, personally.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very good point. And if you're savvy enough, you can find some deals on whether it be a law enforcement trade-in or a sales at like Academy of Sports or something like that. You can pick up one for less than 600, which is awesome.
Some of the 40 cal, the turn-in or the trade-ins, you can get them for like 300, I think. Or yes. Online, I mean, it's like crazy cheap. I mean, that's a budget gun to me.
It's funny because I get a lot of people that scoff at the LE trade-ins, and I'm like, why? Why would you scoff at it? Yeah, the slide may have a lot of wear on it or whatever. You can Cerakote that. That's too easy with the money that you saved. But how many times have most police officers ever fired their weapon within a year or 2 years, or maybe even 5 years? I can tell you it's probably less than 500 rounds.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I kind of, the way I feel about it, like, to me, a pistol with holster wear is like a baseball bat with pine tar on it. It makes sense.
Isn't that what George Brett got in trouble for?
Yeah, too high. It went too high up past his grip or whatever. And that, I'm impressed you knew that. I was a big pine tar guy. I was obsessed with it. So to me, like, wear on my guns is like, they're supposed to be dirty.
Yeah, yeah. So I will have to say that I was on, We Like Shootings podcast, and I got ridiculed because, I'm a Glock guy. I love Glocks. I love the utilitarianism behind it, because you can switch magazines between the different models if you need to. And I made the comment of, I'm branching out, and I'm like testing out this VP9 and this Smith & Wesson M&P 9. And one of the guys was like, so let me get this straight. You're branching out, you're broadening your horizons, and you're going from one polymer striker fired pistol to another. So that's when I had to do this. I went ahead and got this guy right here.
You're a hipster now.
I am, with my organic coffee and organic single source coffee. So it's unloaded, by the way, guys. But yeah, so I've shot this one time. I've put 20 rounds through it. 21 rounds through it, and I'm happy with it.
I had a CZ75B, the older version of that, and I screwed up. I should have got that model. I should have got the SP01 because the CZ75 they're almost like 1911s, but like they're dated. Like I wouldn't recommend anyone get a CZ75B. I would absolutely say if you get a CZ, get one of the P10s, P07, or the one you got. That is the SP01.
Yeah, it's P01 tactical. Yep.
That thing is badass. I've never shot one, but after shooting a CZ75B, I can imagine how nice it is.
Yeah. So Firearm Solution says they carried a Glock, or excuse me, a Colt property marked 1911 from 1971 to 1997, and then bought a Glock 22 for my duty pistol. Now I have 4. So I've got 2 Glocks. I'm borrowing a third Glock, which is the Glock 34. I don't have it handy, but they're ugly. They're not ergonomically savvy, and but the problem is they just run. They're reliable. I'm never going to say Glock perfection because I think that's just stupid. But they're like the AK of pistols.
But they're also, to me, they're also like the AR because they're so damn modular. You can do anything you want to them. They're the best of both worlds. I could go on about how much I love Glocks, but find me another pistol with less parts, and then I'll agree with you that there's a better gun out there.
Touche. One thing I wanted to point out to the gentleman that was talking about the 1911. Let's see who that was. Firearm Solution. Just so you know, I New York Reload 1911 full size on my ankle. So yeah.
No way.
I was trying to get New York Reloader mic out.
No New York of the night. I'll do a little bit of voices, nothing serious. I get bashful.
Okay. So if you guys want to hear New York Reloader Mike, you got to check out episode 7. He busts out New York Reloader Mike, and he goes into this tirade about how New York Reloader Mike. Can you do it? Please do the whole skit where you talk about
the whole skit. But basically, New York Reload Revolver Mike doesn't follow laws. He doesn't give a shit about your laws. He brings his reload revolver. He got a revolver. He's got another revolver and another revolver. So that gives you an idea of what he's like.
Oh my goodness!
Many characters. Alana can probably hear me through the walls right now. She's probably like, God.
I know, right? Well, I was listening to that on my way back from Wichita yesterday, and I just started busting up laughing as soon as you pulled into. I already knew it was coming, but I was starting laughing anyway. And the wife looked over at me and was like, "What the heck is your problem?" Because I'm just driving along. It's perfectly quiet in the truck. I'm just driving along, and then all of a sudden I just start busting out laughing. So yeah. Anyways, again, check out episode 7. You guys will love it. So okay.
I have a plethora of voices all day.
Right on. So we're going to transition here real quick. Again, you guys in the chat room, you guys are crushing it. You're moving way too fast for me to keep up. If I see something that comes through, I will jump on it. But forgive me if I miss anything. This has actually been the biggest live chat that I've had. So I'm still trying to get going with this. But anyway, Mike,
I cut you off. I saw someone say that Glocks are not for everyone, just as a Ford is not a Chevy. I agree with that. If you don't like Glocks, hey, more for me and you.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I drive a Ram.
Yeah, exactly. I drive a Jeep. Go hard, baby.
Yeah. So I got the Hemi too. So that's what I'm really happy about that one. So, and still get 18 miles per gallon.
That's about what I get. I get 17.3.
My Jeep that I traded in just a couple of months ago, which I was sad to do, but I was kind of cornered into doing that. Anyway, man, my Jeep, I was down like 14 miles per gallon with the lift and the wheels and everything else. So yeah,
a lot of weight.
So all right, so let's transition. Chat room, you guys keep crushing. We're going to get into another really kind of sensitive subject to a lot of people. And my stance on this take, and I want to hear what Mike is going to go into it, and then I'm going to get into why I think this is pistol caliber carbines, or PCC, So we're going to use those terms interchangeably. So pistol caliber carbines, PCCs, my opinion, probably the best thing that you could do for home defense.
Wow.
Leave it there. See what you have to say. What do you think?
I don't know. I wasn't expecting you to say the best. I thought you were going to say that it was good, but I have to agree that it is a great option because the controllability, the ease of recoil, the amount of blast you get from a PCC indoors. Like if you go to an indoor range and shoot a 9mm carbine, it's like shooting a BB gun or something, just with the pressure, the amount of gas you get hit by. Whereas shooting an AR indoors would be like, I feel like it'd be just like getting hit in the head with a trash can bin. You know what I mean? So I totally see where you're coming from there. But my question is, are you talking about pistol caliber carbine long guns or like pistol caliber pistols, like a CZ7 or a CZ Scorpion with a brace? Because that to me is very viable compared to one with a 16-inch barrel.
So I wasn't really getting into the 16-inch barrel. The reason why I'm bringing it up because I have just acquired a AR9, and I'm super excited about that because it's pretty cool. I'll kind of give a little teaser to everybody. It's a AR9 and it's got the PDW stock on it, but it's only a 7-inch barrel. Or excuse me, 8-inch barrel. So I'm not talking full length stuff here. I'm not talking like
not stock, right? You don't have it's not an SBR.
No. It's the SB Tactical PDW stock on it, right?
Oh.
So yeah, so I'm not really kind of diving into say like a Henry 357, with like the 12, 16-inch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm definitely talking pistol.
No high point carbine. You sure? You don't want a high point carbine. I really recommend those for new shooters.
I'd probably end up using it like a lawn dart.
Hitting them with it. Hey, I'm dead serious. That was my first gun, and it worked, and it was so easy to shoot, and it didn't freak me out. The first time I went to the range, it wasn't that much different than shooting one of my paintball guns because there's not that much force coming from it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it's like everything, give and take. If you want to shoot 45 bullets, and you're not going to get the effect you're going to get if you hit them with a 7.62 or a 5.56, but you're going to be able to, shoot easier.
Right. So one of the things that I noticed in watching Paul Harrell's videos, for some reason last month I got into this little kick where I could not get enough of Paul Harrell. Yeah. And oh, by the way, this one does fit my hand better. So just for that. Anyway,
was that him that started it, or was it 180 Second Ideas? Was it?
No, he actually started that. That was an old video. Yeah. So anyway, he did a video. Man, this is like 3 or 4 years ago. It's a fairly old video where he shows the difference of power that you can generate from a 9mm projectile between shooting it from a regular pistol or a pistol caliber carbine. You get that extra barrel length to it, whether it be 8, 9, 10 inches. It's going to generate more kinetic energy. And he shot at a 2-liter bottle, and you hit it with a 9mm from the pistol, and it just kind of opens up, right? He hits it with I think it was a Keltec, to be honest with you. Was it Keltec 2000 with the
2000, the foldable one? Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, you can use Beretta magazines for it, I think. Yeah, and it just blew that thing apart. It was very, very noticeable. So that's kind of where my interest comes into the pistol caliber carbines. So after shooting the AR9, I really fell in love with it because the controllability of it, because as you mentioned in episode 7, you have 4 points of contact: shoulder, cheek, one hand, 2 hands. You're shooting a 9mm, which is not going to have much recoil, especially from that type of platform. And with mine takes Glock mags. So it only makes sense for me now. And I may move away from this opinion later, but for right now, this makes really good sense to me because I carry a Glock on a regular basis. I can utilize my Glock 26. I couldn't believe this. My Glock 26 magazines fit. My 19 fits. My 17 fits. And and then obviously the 30 plus round magazines fit as well. But that's a viable option, because if something happens where my pistol actually goes down, I can switch my magazines to my PCC, or vice versa. Or another viable option is if I need to hand something off to my wife, or even maybe here in the next couple of years to my daughter, either one of them could handle the PCC.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about new shooters, smaller people. They're 100% easier to shoot than even an intermediate sized rifle. It's just a whole nother level, you know. And there's other YouTube channels that say if you're going to shoot someone, you need to hit them with a rifle because you want to put them down as quick as you can. That's kind of the foundation of my feelings towards pistol caliber carbines, where it's like, if you're going to hit them with a long gun, don't you want to hit them with either, you know, 1,500 foot-pounds from a rifle round, or, you know, even more or less with buckshot or slugs, probably more with slugs, because you want to end that threat quickly. You want to end the threat as quickly as possible. So that was where I've been coming from my terms. I would feel like I wasn't doing my duty if I was using a pistol gun, because I can handle a rifle.
Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you on that. The part that I would counter with you is if you get training and you utilize your PCC on a regular basis to where you are getting consistent, accurate shots, whether it be, you know, your A zone.
Yeah, it won't matter. Exactly. You're right. That's true. It won't matter where you hit them and that's the thing. Like you said, you got 4 points of contact. You're going to be 15 yards away from them. You can probably put them wherever you want with a pistol caliber carbine. That's a very good point. And the second shot will probably be much easier to hit them with too.
So, and Nico actually makes a very interesting point. Always send the wife out first, so you know where the intruder is. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that Mike would agree. If we sent out our significant others out first, then we wouldn't have any fun, because they just take care of the situation. So,
funny. We both have. We have shotguns. You know, we live in a cinder block apartment building. Theoretically, a buckshot filled shotgun is what we should use for safety. But just for our safety, or for our peace of mind, we both keep our 17s with lights on them right next to the bed. So I got one, she's got one, 40 rounds between us almost.
Right.
So I don't, it's probably overkill or whatever, but what, you know, I got a shotgun too. So.
Yep. So, so that's kind of that's my stance on the PCC. I know in episode 7, you made some comments about it, but I think you were probably more thinking of the longer 16-inch barrels. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of, like, we were kind of saying that just a long gun in general, like a rifle 22, like you were saying, you're going to shoot it better than you're going to shoot a handgun.
Mm-hmm.
That was the main thing we were saying. We're just emphasizing how much easier it is to shoot a rifle than it is to shoot a handgun, because I don't think people understand how incredibly difficult it is to hit small things with handgun bullets, with a handgun.
Yep. Yep. So, you know, you do lose maneuverability a little bit with a long gun, whether it's a pistol or, you know, a pistol caliber carbine.
I've heard people say before that when you put your arms out to extend your pistol, you're just as long as you would be with a rifle. Or you could be like John Wick and, you know, like do whatever the thing he does with his eye, the left eye behind that someone does, where it brings it in real tight, you know. But, you know, either way, it's all give and take, whatever you're comfortable with, really, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, that's one of the things that's kind of a positive with the with your actual standard pistols, is that you don't necessarily have to fight all the way out here with it. You can pull it in if you need to. With a rifle or a pistol caliber carbine, you're kind of slaved to it. It is where it is, you know. So with that being said, I've got hopefully here pretty soon, I'll need to get some more video pulled together, but I'm going to have kind of a head-to-head battle between pistol caliber carbines, 2 different variants. I know there's tons of different variations out there, but the 2 that I have is going to be the AR9 versus the MP5. So Yeah, I'm excited for that. And I'll run some drills, and I'll probably, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, I will put out some information on Instagram to see what type of drills you would like to see me run, to kind of make things a little bit easier if there's something you guys are interested in. So we'll go from there.
You have an MP5?
I do.
Ooh. Man, I just shot one of my first time a couple weeks ago, man. Those things are something else, man. MP5s are awesome.
So let me get it. I got it right behind me. Hold on a second.
Take your time,
Get
man.
red in the face here. Because I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the one that I shot had a can on it and a red dot, and man, it was like it was something else.
Oh. Yeah, here we go. Yep, there it is, right there.
Nice. Is that a brace?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, nice. I saw those. That's awesome.
So I'll tell you, I ended up getting the brace. I'd been watching the sales for braces for quite some time. I wanted to get my hands on one. They're running right around the $200 mark, and then all of a sudden, Brownells had a 30% off sale on all SB Tactical braces, and I was like, yes. So picked it up.
Man, SB Tactical, man, they changed the game. They really did.
Didn't they?
Sound corny, they did. They totally changed everything.
Have you ever shot anything with a tail hook?
Mm. The only experience I have is with the Shockwave or the Shock Blade, the one that's like this. Not a big fan of that one because it doesn't give you much surface area. Mine on my Draco here. Yeah, that one, yeah. This one has a good butt on it.
Does that swivel back and forth at all?
It did, but I fixed that.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I did electrical tape. Just wrap the tube in electrical tape, and then it won't spin anymore. That is a big issue with a lot of these braces. When you first get them, you'll be shooting them, and then it'll be upside down before you know it.
Looks like I ran into a situation where my internet's kind of
Okay.
lagged up on us. So
yeah, I noticed the last few minutes people were saying they were having some buffering issues.
yeah, really frustrating because I know I have good internet. So, but we pretty much hit an hour. So
Could it be me?
no, it would be me because I'm carrying the
Okay,
I'm
streaming. Okay.
Yeah, I'm streaming it. So,
Okay.
what I meant to do was pull my unplug my what do you call it, router, unplug it for about 10 minutes, let it cool down, and then plug it back in. But
yeah, they're saying it's. I just saw someone say it's good now. Damn.
Working now. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. I'm again, one of the things I wanted to do to make sure that this live chat went off without a hitch was to ensure that I pulled the router, unplugged it, and then cooled it down before we started. Plug it back in. I was running behind tonight, so I didn't get a chance to do that. So let's see here. Better now. All right, cool. So it says it's better now, but for some reason I'm not seeing it on my end. But we'll just run with it. Pretty much that really kind of gets us to a little over an hour. We've covered everything I wanted to touch on. Is there anything that you wanted to bring up real quick, Mike, before we head out of here?
I wanted to ask if you were ever going to get one of these new Palmetto State AKs.
I think I will at some point. What I'd like to do is get my feet wet with a understanding of what I've got going on with the C39 V2. Mm-hmm. You and I have talked about possibly exchanging a real AK, and then and if for some reason if that doesn't work out, I think we got I think we have a another option that I can get a hands on a Romanian here locally. But anyway, with that being said, I want to understand what a good AK looks like, what it feels like, and then pick up one of the Palmetto State Armory ones. Just even if I have to borrow it for a couple of weeks and check out what theirs look like, and then in the future check out their 5.56 AK. So
yeah, I'm excited about the 5.56 AK that they're bringing out, because it takes the P mags, because basically all the 5.56 AKs, they take funky mags, and the mags are like $50, but the 5.56 AK, that's a good gun. That's a, you know.
Yep. So yeah, so that's where I'm kind of at. We'll see what happens with it, and we'll go from there. But let's go ahead and start shutting things down here. Mike, tell us where we can find you, and if we want to follow you on all the social media places, where can we find you there?
So on Instagram, my name is Knife Marion 2A. On SoundCloud and iTunes, we our podcast Semi-Armed Life, me and my girlfriend, we talk about all sorts of things. I wanted to kind of halfway apologize, halfway inform the audience, though, that we've been on kind of a summer hiatus. It's been a kind of a rough summer, especially I do blue collar work, so we're working to get things rolling again. So.
Right on, right on. It's always good to take a break. This is a good time to do it because, a lot of people are traveling, and, so one of the things that I've seen a lot of people on podcasts or even in YouTubes is they'll do things in seasons, kind of like a sitcom or something like that. So with that being said, Mike, thank you for your time tonight. I know, again, it's a Monday and everybody's trying to shake off the weekend, but it's always great talking with you.
Yep. Makes a Monday better than a normal Monday.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. So with that being said, first and foremost, I did see in the chat room that there's some people chiming in saying that they're new subscribers. So thank you so much for that. I do appreciate each and every single one of my subscribers. Again, if you guys are not aware, check out my playlist. I've got a 1-year anniversary giveaway, some pretty cool prizes. I'm very thankful to get hooked up with Tac Pack and Palmetto State Armory on these prizes. So by all means, check that out and enter to win. I wish I could give everybody something, but unfortunately, I will only have to be able to give 3 people something. So at the very least, that's just my way to say thank you guys, give back to you as much as I possibly can for all the great support from there. So again, a number of people have jumped on Patreon. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart on that. I sure do appreciate your support from the financial aspect of it. So if you don't already know, we're on the YouTubes. You can find me on Instagram, fitandfire78, and I have fitandfire.com. Check out fitandfire.com. Hopefully I can get you guys squared in some good deals. I'm going to continue to do deals videos to save you guys money if you're interested. And yeah, that's basically it. Again, thank you guys. Have a great night. And as always, keep calm and carry. Good night, y'all.
See you.